if you stopped being so predictable? What if you shook things up? What if you were the opposite of what you usually are? What would happen? Welcome to your Daily Whisper. I am playing today, my friend Kara Bradley here. Actually, I've been playing all week, offering you these little dares, things to stop doing, just to see what would happen. Today I want to talk to you about not being so predictable. And this is a little dare that I have for myself. I am so inspired by this Rumi quote. I've read it before on these Daily Whispers, and I want to read it to you again. It really shakes me to my core, and it is the inspiration for this short episode. Run from what's comfortable. Forget safety. Live where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation. Be notorious. Wow. I'm going to put that in the show notes if you want to read it again. This is just a trigger, you can say, to change things up. Even for just these 3 days that we've been talking about. To play, to not be so fixed. If you were to be less predictable, how would you show up? What would you say? What would you wear? What would you do? Why not play with this? Why not do the opposite of what you usually do? Nobody needs to know. Just for yourself. Just to play outside the sandbox. To color outside the lines a little bit. To shake it up. I love Tim Ferriss for this. Tim Ferriss is the podcaster, famous, original, kind of OG podcaster. And he would do something, when I was listening to him a lot, called dialing while drunk. I don't know if he does it anymore, but he would do like a 2-hour episode. And he would dial up some of his superfans while drinking over the course of the 2 hours. So you would listen and you would hear him get progressively more inebriated. And it was funny as hell. And one thing that he says is, I don't want to be predictable. I don't want people to peg me as a certain type of person, this or that. And so one other thing that he would do is he would once a week or once a month completely change how he dressed. And he would go out in public in like these outrageously different for him outfits. Just to shake it up. To be less predictable. So I want to challenge you to do this, and I'm challenging me to do this as well. Is it dressing differently? Is it speaking less or speaking up more? Is it being early instead of always being late, or the opposite? Maybe it's letting things get messy or being clumsy instead of always being so perfect and put together. This is just for you, for fun, to color outside the lines. What if you stopped being so predictable? What if you, as Rumi says, live where you fear to live? Destroy your reputation, if that's, not going to lose your job or your business, of course. What if you did the opposite of what you usually do? This is just to shake it up, my friend, especially these last couple of years. Our lives, while there's so much uncertainty out there for sure, our lives in many ways have gotten so much smaller because of COVID and restrictions and quarantine and what's closed and what doesn't happen anymore. So I think it's really, really important because Radical novelty, doing things differently, seeing things differently, is a flow trigger. It trips us into our more optimal experiences where we become deeply present in the moment, where time stands still, where we tap into our senses in high definition, where we feel most alive. And so I think that being less predictable is a practice. For me anyway, because I get very, very fixed in my routines. So I'd love to hear from you what you came up with. And I am going to do a review of all of these What If I Stopped episodes, and to let you know what I have experienced. So remember, just for the week, what if I stopped fixing, forcing? What if I stopped caring what other people think and stopped judging? And what if I stopped being so predictable? What would happen? I love this. I love these inquiries. Thank you for being here. Check out the show notes for that Rumi quote, for my In the Arena program, for the work that I'm doing in the mental fitness world with your mental fitness grid, and finally for the mental fitness products that I represent and I stand by. Feel your best, perform your best. This is it. Let's own our power out there, my friend. Go out there and shine.